Hey, it's Miranda, and this is the second video in a series of 3 about how to get past your blocks and stay past your blocks once and for all. So today I have a little more help. I have Sam helping me. Say hi. And I also have Master Sean helping out today. He'll be in and out of the video as he sees necessary. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to thank you all for your feedback and comments from the first video. We'll address some of those things that you threw in there today. If you wrote in any of your reasons / excuses for not taking care of yourself. And Sean says music. So there you have it. So to recap from video number 1, from my survey, 90% of the women who responded said that they did not like the way that they look. The same 90% of women also said they believed they were capable of change. So then if they don't like the way that they look, and they know and believe that they could change, then why aren't they? It comes down to this. They opt for comfort versus happiness. And I define that as settling. Are you upset about something? Yeah, we don't like to settle, do we? Yeah. Well, easier said than done, right? It's very easy to fall into a comfort zone than it is to feel like you're working real hard to create happiness in your life. And that's what it comes down to. The number one excuse when you really break it down is it's too hard. It's too hard to wake up earlier to fit in a workout in my busy day. It's too hard to find a babysitter and then find a new babysitter and then find another new babysitter when those other babysitters don't work out so I can go take a yoga class. It's too hard to find healthy foods. It's too hard to learn how to eat healthy. It's too hard to find the money to hire a personal trainer. It's too hard to, what else? It's too hard to stay motivated for the required amount of time. It's too hard to, all these things. It's just too hard. If you have a reason for not taking care of yourself that you didn't just hear in that list of things that it's too hard to do, then go ahead and write them down on a sheet of paper right now. In fact, do that anyway, even if you did hear some reminders in there. Go ahead and take a moment and write down all your reasons / excuses for not taking care of yourself. It's good to take these things head on when we're trying to make change, so best to really define them, take them out of your head, put them down on paper, make them more solid, and that way you can better kick them in the butt. So if you're one of the 90% who is currently using one of these reasons, or let's face it, they're really excuses for not taking care of yourself, then you are settling for less, and life is too short for that. So what is that? That's like feeling resigned to the fact that the situation is never going to change. You're always going to feel heavy. You're always going to feel jiggly. You're always going to feel fat. You're always going to feel ugly, some variation of some of that. And is that really okay with you? Is that really okay? I don't think it is. And I know how to get around it. So that's the information that I'd like to share. So as promised, I'm going to take all those excuses and rip them apart, and I'm going to do that by dispelling myths. Before I get into these myths and rip them apart, I just want to ask you, do you feel like it might be a better use of your energy to take the energy and the focus that you're using right now to send yourself negative thoughts, whether you're saying them out loud or you're just saying them in your head, and redirecting that energy towards enhancing your life, like living in the present moment and looking forward to the future, spending time with your family, appreciating your family, playing with grandkids, playing with your kids, whatever it is. Doesn't it just make more sense, if you can, to take that energy that you're spending on feeling like crap, basically, and use it towards feeling, I don't know, amazing? Or at least better. Taking a step in the right direction. All right, let's get into these myths. Myth number 1. You have to do strenuous cardio activity in order to lose weight. Now, this is not about losing weight today, but a lot of us feel like we need to lose weight. So this comes up a lot. People think they need to get on the elliptical machine for a half hour, and then when they don't see results from that, they go to 45 minutes, and then when they don't see results from that, they go to an hour, and then when they don't see results from that, they make it more challenging, and then they hate their lives because they're spending all their time at the gym on an elliptical machine. It doesn't have to be that way. It's a myth. The best exercise or the best format for exercise to lose weight is interval training. So what is that? Basically, that's alternating between weights. Exactly, Sean. And I'm not talking about 3-pound weights. I'm talking about weights and a cardio burst. So, for example, you could do chest flies or push-ups, something like that. And then you do that for a minute and then switch it with jumping rope for a minute. That's just a very short example. And then you can keep switching things up. So maybe another minute of rear delt flies followed by a minute of jumping jacks, something simple that we all know. And that's interval training. What it does, it just burns the calories, it gets your metabolism up. And then once it's up, it stays up, and that's good stuff for losing weight if that's what your goal is. I also want to tell you that if you want to do the cardio exercises on, the cardio machines, what it does, it's oxidative stress on your system. So to give you an example, without going too scientific or anything, if you take a bite out of an apple, you leave it on the counter. That's oxidative stress. When you see it turn brown, that's aging the apple. That's what you do to your system. So really, there's no reason for you to do a huge amount of strenuous cardio activity altogether. The little bits and spurts are more effective, and they don't harm your system. If you really love going on an elliptical machine for an hour, hour and a half, then by all means do it. Feel great about that. But if you think you have to do that to lose weight, it's not true. Myth number 1, gone, out the door. Myth number 2, you need to spend at least an hour, if not more, in order to see results. That's not true. The example I just gave you for the interval training, you can do effective interval training for 10 minutes and see results over a period of time. Even Sean agrees, right? What do we have here? The letter N, just in case you were curious. All right, so after I had Sean, I had 30 extra pounds to lose and no time because I was trying to figure out how the heck to take care of an infant. I got to work out 10 minutes a day. I thought, well, what's the point of this? Well, in my mind, the point at the time was it's giving me 10 minutes where I feel like I'm in control of my life. The result was I lost all 30 pounds. That was a surprise to me. So I'm here to share with you that worked. A minimum of 10 minutes a day. I prefer 30, but that's 50% of what the general population thinks they need to do. You do not need to get all dressed up in fancy clothes and go to the gym and then do all that stuff and 4 hours later you finally make it home. Yeah, if you're trying to fit that in your day, it's not going to work. What is going on with you? So, he's very helpful, isn't he? Yes, I'm so helpful. What else do we have here? The letter K. Fantastic. So, yeah, 10 minutes minimum. If you have an hour and you want to do an hour, great. I'm not telling you not to do an hour. I'm just telling you, you don't have to. All it takes is 10 minutes. So for you, if you're out there saying you don't have time in your busy day to exercise, you do. If you have time to take a shower, you have time to exercise. If you have time to read something on your whatever you have, smartphone, tablet, then you have time to exercise. You can carve out 10 minutes. Some days for me, it was so crazy that I got in 2 minutes here and 2 minutes there. By the end of the day, I would have done 5 of those and gotten in my 10 minutes. So, if I can fit in 10 minutes, you can fit in 10 minutes. Myth gone, out the door, bye-bye. Oh. Myth number 3, you must be highly motivated over a long period of time in order to create change. It's not true. It's impossible, actually. A state of motivation that people think that they need is not sustainable. It's not possible. What you need is not 100% motivation. You need 100% commitment, and there is a difference. Because we start off on these programs or, we're going to work out every day and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're so motivated. We take it whole hog. Yay. And after a week or so, if we even make it to a week, that energy starts to fall off, which it does, which is normal. And we start to feel like, what's wrong with me? I'm not motivated. Well, there you go. It's normal. Nobody can stay motivated like that. But you can stay committed. And the difference is, when you lose that motivation, then you start to have days where you don't feel like it. You find that 10 minutes, that precious, precious 10 minutes in your day, and I'm going to work out, or you're in the grocery store and you're tired and you feel like walking down the cookies and cracker aisle and you know what's going to happen and you just, it's sucking you in. Okay, that's when you don't feel like it. You don't feel like following through on your commitment, but you do it anyway because you committed. You walk away from the cookies and cracker aisle. You get up and you do your squats even if you don't feel like it. Those days when you don't feel like it and you push through anyway, those are the days that make the biggest difference. Those are the days when you feel like you're successful. You do it whether you feel like it or not. And that's how you push through to the other side. Commitment, not motivation. Myth, gone. Out the door, bye-bye. And the final myth to dispel is, it's too hard. It's too hard. You know what? It's not too hard. It's doable. How can I stand here and say that? I'm not you. How do I know what you feel? Well, I can tell you that it's not too hard because what's making it hard, what's making it difficult and challenging right now are the way your habits are lined up. If your habits are not serving you, then going and doing something that might be good for you or healthy for you is going to feel difficult. It's going to feel too hard to do. So, if you dig down and you get those habits by the roots, you rip them out and you replace them with new habits that do serve you, then it's no longer too hard. So the difference really is that changing your habits, it's just a matter of time. You can do that. You can change your habits. My big one is becoming a morning person. I'm still working on that. I'll write a book if I figure it out. But I do believe that you can change it. It's habits, ingrained habits. And I've changed so many in my life, So I'm speaking from experience. I know that you also can change habits. If you're a human being, then this power lies within you. How to do it is a different thing, and that's what I'm going to cover in the next video. So join me for that. We're going to talk about how to change your habits so that they're serving you, so that you can create the change that you want to see in your life. So if you have a minute or so, go ahead and comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. What? And and of my helpers who were so helpful. And I'd really appreciate that. Just let me know if you found any of this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video when we figure out how to change your habits from the roots up. All right, see you then. Bye.